Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel if you're new, and if you're not, then welcome, dear one. Okay, so today's video is going to be, the topic of it is intimidation. Now y'all, I really was not trying to, I had another video, I had another topic to talk about in this video, and the Lord veered me around the way to intimidation. So we're going to talk about it because this is the issue that I have dealt with before, and maybe probably still currently is. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna be honest. So I had to do a little research. I wouldn't even say research, I had to do a little studying on the definition of intimidation. So I looked it up in Greek, and this is what I got. So intimidation in the Greek means phobos. So it means panic, fear, flight, causing of fear, terror, reverence, respect. Then it also means to flee, to withdraw, fleeing because feeling inadequate. I'm going to stop it right there because this second definition resonates with me all the way. Story time real quick. So there was this church that I was going to, and anytime that I would come around bigger people, higher in status, like gospel artists, or not, I wouldn't even say not only that, but just people in general who I didn't know, I had maybe like a little bit of a, I wouldn't say social anxiety, like a disconnect, almost to the point where I wouldn't talk. When we come around other people, like in a group, I wouldn't say anything. I would shrink back, because that's one thing that withdraw means to me, in another word, is to shrink back. Fleeing because feeling inadequate. I felt that I wasn't enough. I felt like I wasn't enough to be in the group that I was in, talking with other people, like almost to the point where I couldn't believe that I was here in Atlanta. I'll say that I was here in Atlanta, and I felt that basically I felt inadequate for being there, talking with certain people who I didn't think that I should be in the same room with them. That's it. I felt like I shouldn't be in the same room with them. Like, I'm from a small town called Burgaw, North Carolina. My name is Chanel Jacobs, and I'm near across the water, over there where a river rise up whenever it rains a couple of inches and it floods. Like, that's where I'm from. So I felt like that I shouldn't be in the same room with other people. And not only that, I wouldn't, if I had something to say, I would keep it to myself. I felt like that my words or anything that I wanted to share was irrelevant. Like, it don't matter. Like, they talking about stuff that I can relate to, but who wants to hear what I have to say? Like, I would say that all the time, like in my head, like, who wants to hear what I gotta say? Like, they probably been there, done that. You know, it's just like blowing breath, gone. I mean, you know. So, but also, and you know what, this happened on countless times. Another time that it happened to me was here in Atlanta. After I have officially moved here, me and my best friend, we went to a worship gathering. We get around, first we get there to rehearsal, the very first night, and I'm nervous, you know, because it's something new, of course, it's unknown, something I have never done before, something in my heart that I've always wanted to do, like literally always wanted to do, but didn't really like make the steps towards to do it. So my friend said, well, come on, you know, let's go. I was like, okay, bet, you know, I'm down, I'm ready to go. So we go there, and it's in this setting with other, like, people who you don't know, foreign land, from all areas in Atlanta or from other cities and states and stuff like that. So we get there, and I'm nervous, you know, but I'm trying to like push through, you know, smiling through it. And I'm worshiping, and I love worship, y'all. I love to worship. I love it. I love to worship. So when we're worshiping, I shrink back in my voice because I don't want people to hear me, you know, like what, and things that are going through my head, like what if, you know, I sing the wrong note, you know, I'm not on the part, you know, or I sound bad, you know, just these different little things come into my head. Not little things, but thoughts will come into my head. So I'm just like, oh, you know, so I keep it low, like stuff like that. I wouldn't go any higher than that. But intimidation had came into play because of the people who I was around. Didn't know them, but the way that they were, how they came into the room, you know, how they introduced themselves. And I'm not only talking about the people who I was in the gathering with, but the people who were the worship leaders, who you know that were worship leaders, just because of how they carry themselves. And they come into the room or already in the room and they're singing, you know, boastfully and confident. That's it. Confidence. And I'm just like, oh, wow, you know, something that that I have access to but haven't grabbed it, haven't grabbed it, you know, caught on to just yet. Something that I do have, but intimidation came into play when it was time to do a recording, because we had it was a gathering, but it also was a recording. A couple of days on the line, we were all in a group together, so we're all like altos, sopranos, tenors, and then you have the worship leaders. Intimidation came in when I would get singled out, or if any time I would shrink back, like, ooh, attention, there it is, like, don't want it. Not only that, I wouldn't speak up either because of the people who I was around. And when I learned to know, like, I kind of had a sense of who they were, like, oh, that's the worship leader, you know. When I finally learned who they were, oh, I got intimidated real bad. I'm just like, oh my goodness, you know, like they're like higher in status, you know, they know this person and that person, and I'm little old me, like I'm little old Chanel. Like, what can I bring to the table? You know, those thoughts that I was thinking of. I don't, So, that's a quick little story time for y'all. I have another definition. But it brings it out more in sense. And it says, phobos, fear, means withdraw, separate from, flee, remove oneself, and hence to avoid because of dread, fright. When this second line, it says flee, remove oneself, I tend, thinking about the experiences that I had, and not only the experiences that I had, but the environments that I was in with other people who I didn't know, or people who I did know and they were higher in status. They could have been celebrities, gospel artists, I mean writers, authors, you know, preachers, whoever. I would, and if we were all in a conversation and I was just sitting there like, yeah, yeah, okay, I would remove myself, flee. Either I would shut my mouth, meaning that I will put this muzzle on my mouth and not say anything, or I will go somewhere else in my mind. Like, they could be talking and I'd be daydreaming about something else. And it wasn't because I wasn't interested in the conversation. I just felt intimidated by being there with them, and I felt inadequate for being there as well too. Yeah. So, there's a scripture that I looked up that relates to this. And I'm gonna bring some truth in it, you know, because I don't want to be talking about the negative the whole time. Just bring some truth. So, The scripture is 1 John 4:18, and it says, little children. And I'm reading this in the Amplified version because I love more in-depth definition. It says, little children, believers, dear ones, you are of God, and you belong to him and have already overcome them, meaning the agents of the Antichrist. Because he who is in you is greater than he, which is Satan, who is in the world of sinful mankind. Yeah. Intimidation can really hold you back from a lot of stuff. And when you go more in depth, fear can hold you back from a lot of stuff, because on the other side of fear is everything that you dreamed of. Everything. All the promises, all the blessings that the Father wants to give you. Y'all. And I am a living witness how fear can hold you back and stop you from, and I wouldn't even say stop you, I'm gonna use paralyze. Fear can really paralyze you from doing what you desire to do. Or not only that, but fear can stop you from doing the will of God. Yeah. But in order to counteract that, it says in the scripture, countless and countless times, fear not, for I have overcame the world. Fear not. I can't even think of the scripture that I want to think of right now. It's in my head. I have different scriptures around in my room. Okay, Joshua 1:9. Be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. I think it's in Timothy. What's that scripture? For God did not give you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Just putting those scriptures, meditating on those scriptures day and night. And even when you step out that door to go into the world, just to meditate on those words. When you are about to go preach, if you're a preacher, or speak, or lead a song, think on that, because you are never alone. And how I like to not only think about that, but I like to visualize that when I'm about to do something that's very scary. For perhaps like YouTube, or I wouldn't even say YouTube is scary to me, because I'm just talking to a camera and y'all will look at the video later. But even if it's just talking in front of people, there we go. I did I wouldn't say public speaking, my what is that, senior project. And in order for you to pass your senior project, you had to talk in front of a class before you talked in front of the judges. I don't think I was, when I think about it, yeah, I was scared, but I had the courage to do it. And how I think about it is, I visualize the Father standing beside me and his angels surrounding me. And just by getting into that visualization, I happen to feel his presence. And then everything falls off for me. Fear, inadequacy, intimidation, insecurity, low self-esteem. I mean, all of it. It'll begin to fall off of you. And then the scriptures, by meditating on them and rehearsing on them day and night, and if you continue to do this, you will become like the scriptures. You will be strong. You will be brave. You will be courageous. You'll be bold. You'll be confident. All of that. And then you'll be wondering, sometimes you might even scare your own self. Like, dang, Lord. Did that just really come out of me? Chanel, did you just say that? Like, oh my goodness. Kudos to you, girl. Pat yourself on the back. Kudos to you, sir. Pat yourself on the back. But intimidation can really lead you down a path that you really just don't want to go. You don't want to hold on to that. So anyway, that's the video topic that I have for you guys today. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and love you guys.
Thank you.